The West Philippine Sea sparkles under the tropical sun, its depths concealing a prize coveted by nations. Trillions of dollars worth of oil and gas reserves lie beneath the waves, a tempting bounty that has fueled tension and rivalry for decades. This maritime region, a crucial waterway for global trade, is also a focal point for geopolitical power plays. China's expansive claims over the area, embodied in its controversial 9-line, have brought it into conflict with the Philippines and other Southeast Asian nations. The discovery of vast energy reserves within the West Philippine Sea has only escalated the stakes. For the Philippines, these resources represent a vital opportunity for economic growth and energy independence. However, China's assertive actions, including the construction of artificial islands and the militarization of disputed features, have cast a long shadow over the region. The Philippines, determined to safeguard its sovereign rights, has turned to the United States, its long-standing ally, for support in this high-stakes contest. China's claims in the West Philippine Sea are deeply rooted in its historical narrative. Beijing argues that its fishermen have sailed these waters for centuries, asserting a continuous presence that, in its view, confers historical rights. Maps dating back to the Ming Dynasty, they claim, depict these waters as part of China's maritime territory. These historical arguments, however, are contested by historians and international legal experts. In recent decades, China has sought to translate these historical claims into tangible control. The occupation and militarization of disputed features like the Spratly Islands and Scarborough Shoal have been central to this strategy. China's growing naval and Coast Guard presence in the region has raised concerns among its neighbors and the international community. The deployment of advanced weaponry, including anti-ship missiles and surface-to-air systems, has further heightened tensions. Beijing's actions are seen as an attempt to change the status quo by force, undermining international law and regional stability. In 2016, an international tribunal in The Hague delivered a landmark ruling that dealt a significant blow to China's claims in the West Philippine Sea. The tribunal, constituted under the United Nations Convention on the Law of the Sea, UNCLOS, sided decisively with the Philippines. It declared that China's expansive 9-line claim had no legal basis in international law. The tribunal also ruled that China had violated the Philippines' sovereign rights by interfering with its fishing and oil exploration activities within its exclusive economic zone, EEZ. Furthermore, it condemned China's construction of artificial islands and its environmental damage to sensitive coral reefs. The ruling was a resounding victory for the Philippines and for the rules-based international order. However, China rejected the tribunal's decision outright, denouncing it as null and void. Beijing has refused to comply with the ruling, maintaining its assertive posture in the West Philippine Sea. Against the backdrop of China's growing assertiveness, the United States has made a strategic decision to bolster its presence in the West Philippine Sea. Recognizing the region's economic and geopolitical significance, Washington has encouraged American energy giants to invest in the Philippines' burgeoning oil and gas sector. This move is not merely about energy, it is a calculated strategy to counter China's ambitions and support a key ally. Chevron, a major player in the global energy market, has returned to the Malampaya gas field, a vital source of energy for the Philippines. ExxonMobil, another American energy giant, has secured exploration rights in other promising areas within the disputed waters. These investments signal a renewed American commitment to the region, and a willingness to challenge China's dominance. The presence of American companies in these contested waters raises the stakes for Beijing. It serves as a deterrent against any unilateral Chinese action that might disrupt energy exploration activities. The influx of American investment in the West Philippine Sea's energy sector has been warmly welcomed by the Philippines. President Ferdinand Marcos Jr., recognizing the strategic and economic benefits of this partnership, has pledged to create a favorable environment for foreign investors. His government sees the development of the country's offshore energy resources as crucial for achieving energy security and reducing reliance on imports. The economic boost from these investments is already being felt. New jobs are being created, and the Philippine economy is projected to benefit significantly from increased energy production. Beyond the economic gains, this partnership has strengthened the Philippines' resolve in standing up to China's pressure. With American backing, Manila feels emboldened to assert its sovereign rights and challenge Beijing's assertive actions. Section 6. Beijing's response, pressure, and anxiety. China has reacted to the burgeoning U.S.-Philippines energy partnership with a mixture of anger and anxiety. Beijing has condemned the American investments, accusing Washington of interfering in its internal affairs and undermining regional stability. Chinese state-run media outlets have issued scathing editorials, accusing the U.S. of pursuing a Cold War mentality and trying to contain China's rise. On the ground, China has stepped up its maritime patrols in the West Philippine Sea, deploying its Coast Guard vessels to shadow and harass Philippine fishing boats and survey ships. There have been reports of Chinese vessels using water cannons and dangerous maneuvers to intimidate Philippine vessels. However, despite its aggressive rhetoric and actions, there are signs that China is wary of escalating the situation further. Beijing is acutely aware of the potential economic and reputational costs of a direct confrontation with the United States and its allies. Section 7. Ripples in the Indo-Pacific, a new geopolitical landscape. The strategic competition between the U.S. and China in the West Philippine Sea has profound implications for the broader Indo-Pacific region. This maritime area is not just a source of valuable resources, it is a vital waterway for global trade and a stage for great power rivalry. The U.S., seeking to maintain its preeminence in the region, is actively strengthening its alliances and partnerships to counter China's growing influence. The Quadrilateral Security Dialogue, or Quad, comprising the U.S., Japan, Australia, and India, has emerged as a key forum for coordinating regional security strategy. The Quad members have conducted joint naval exercises and shared intelligence, sending a clear signal of their commitment to a free and open Indo-Pacific. The Association of Southeast Asian Nations, or ASEAN, is also grappling with the challenges posed by the U.S.-China rivalry. While some ASEAN members have strong economic ties with China, they are also wary of becoming overly reliant on Beijing. Section 8. The stakes are high, navigating the future. The struggle for influence in the West Philippine Sea is far from over. The U.S. and China, each with its own strategic imperatives, are locked in a delicate dance, seeking to advance their interests without triggering a wider conflict. The stakes are high for all involved. For the Philippines, the challenge lies in balancing its relations with both the United States and China, while safeguarding its sovereign rights and pursuing its economic development goals. The international community has a vested interest in upholding the rules-based international order and ensuring freedom of navigation in this vital waterway. The potential for miscalculation and escalation remains a constant concern. A minor incident at sea could spiral into a major crisis, with unpredictable consequences for the region and the world. Diplomacy, dialogue, and a commitment to peaceful resolution are essential to prevent the West Philippine Sea from becoming a flashpoint for conflict. Section 9. Energy security and the future of the region. The U.S. investment in the Philippines' energy sector has injected a new dynamic into the geopolitical landscape of the West Philippine Sea. It has provided a lifeline to the Philippines, bolstering its economy and emboldening its stance against China's maritime assertiveness. However, the path ahead remains fraught with challenges. Balancing its relationship with both the U.S. and China will require deft diplomacy from Manila. For the U.S., maintaining its commitment to the Philippines and other regional partners is crucial for countering China's growing influence. A robust and united front that upholds international law and freedom of navigation will be essential in deterring further Chinese assertiveness. The future of the West Philippine Sea hinges on the choices made by the key players. The international community must work together to ensure that this strategically important region remains a zone of peace, stability, and shared prosperity, not a flashpoint for conflict.